Hello, everybody. My name is Brandon Huter, and I will be your chair for the simulation. I'm also going to be the chair for GA1, and the topic that we chose for the General Assembly this year was regulating outer space. Now, I would like to introduce the other staff members who would be in this recording for the simulation.
Hi, I'm Phil Gusson. I'm the faculty advisor for the Model United Nations team.
Hi, I'm Naomi Chairgates. I am an alum of the COCMUN team, and I'm the managing chair for the simulation.
Hi, I'm Ray Peraz. I am a member of the COCMUN staff.
Hi, I'm Colin Schneider, and I'm part of the COCMUN staff.
Great. Now, since this is a virtual conference, we will require that all participants who are not speaking will turn off their video and turn off their mic for the duration. Now, the mics and videos will be turned on for a delegate who has been recognized to speak, such as in a roll call or during a moderated caucus. Okay. With that in mind, we will now begin formal session. If all delegates would please take their seats and get ready for the session. Okay. Now, before we begin roll call, it's important to know that there are two responses that you can have. Now, you can either be present, where you can choose to abstain on substantive matters, meaning voting block and the like, but you would still have to always vote on procedural matters. If you are present and voting, you have to always vote in both substantive and procedural matters. Okay. Noting this, we will now begin roll call. Bolivia.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. Bolivia is present.
Okay. UAE.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. The UAE is present.
Thank you, Russia.
Mute yourself. And
Thank you, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. Russia is present.
If there are any delegates that were not called on or arrived late, remember to send a note to the rapporteur and we will have you in order. Thank you. Okay. Are there any points or motions on the floor at this time? UAE.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. The UAE moves to open debate.
Okay, by chair's discretion, this will be the only motion we will be voting upon at this time. All those wishing to vote on the UAE's motion to open debate, please vote now. Okay, this motion clearly passes. Debate is now open and the session has started. Now, the chair would smile upon a motion to open the speakers list. Are there any points or motions on the floor at this time? Russia.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. Russia moves to open the speakers list for a speaking time of 30 seconds. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, delegate. Are there any other points or motions on the floor at this time? Bolivia.
thank you, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. Bolivia motions to open the speakers list with a speaking time of 45 seconds.
Okay, we will now vote upon these motions on the floor at this time in order of disruption. Now, first we will vote upon Bolivia's motion to open the speakers list for a speaking time of 45 seconds. All those wishing to vote in favor of this motion or against, please vote now. Okay, this motion fails. We will now be voting upon Russia's motion to open the speakers list with a speaking time of 30 seconds. All those wishing to vote on this motion, please vote now. Okay, this motion passes. So the speakers list is now open with a speaking time of 30 seconds. At this time, the chair will be calling upon delegates for speakers to fulfill this list. Okay, all those wishing to speak on the speakers list, please raise your placards now. Okay, Bolivia, Russia, and UAE. Those are all of the speakers we will be having at this time. Again, this is the speaker list with a speaking time of 30 seconds, and we will be recognizing our first speaker, which is Bolivia. Bolivia, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair and fellow delegates. When it comes to regulating outer space, one of the things that I hope the committee will keep in mind is that there's a tremendous disparity of wealth between the countries in this committee. And however we decide to regulate outer space, it should not add to that disparity of wealth. We should use outer space as an opportunity to bring countries together economically in order to bridge some of those divides. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Delegate. We will now be smiling upon and recognizing Russia to speak.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. Russia is very concerned with the military presence in outer space and hopes to reaffirm treaties that have been signed to assure us that other superpowers and countries with space programs don't abuse their power in space, so that we don't feel that we need to take any kind of similar measures, and that everyone can focus on exploratory measures in space. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. We will now be recognizing our next speaker, which is the UAE. You are now recognized for 30 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. The UAE has recently joined the space race because one of the first countries to join this among the Arabs. With that being said, we need to find a way for all of us to be able to explore outer space. We can't just restrict this to specific countries, and we should allow other countries to become a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. The Chair will now be taking points and motions at this time. All those wishing to make a point or motion at this time, please raise your placards now. Bolivia.
Thank you, Chair. Bolivia moves for a 3-minute moderated caucus with a 30-second speaking time on ways to use outer space to bring nations together.
Okay, thank you, Delegate. The Chair will now smile upon, the Chair will now be recognizing any other points or motions on the floor. All those wishing to make a point or motion, please raise your placards now. Okay, seeing none, we will now be voting upon Bolivia's motion for a 3-minute moderated caucus with a 30-second speaking time on ways to bring nations together through this topic. All those wishing to vote on this motion, please vote now. Okay, this motion clearly passes. We are now in a 3-minute moderated caucus with 30-second speaking time on the topic of bringing nations together on the topic of discussion. Okay, Bolivia, since you made this motion, would you like to speak first or last?
Bolivia would like to speak last. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Delegate. We will now be accepting speakers to fill up this moderated caucus. All those wishing to speak in this moderated caucus, please raise your placards now. Okay, Russia and UAE. Okay, these are all the speakers, or Bolivia as well. Okay, these are all the speakers we'll be taking in this moderated caucus at this time. Russia, you are now recognized with a speaking time of 30 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. Russia believes that there are multiple ways that we could start to work on bringing nations together on the topic of space and regulating it. We are, again, concerned about the military presence in space, and so we want to reaffirm the Treaty on the Prevention of the Placement of Weapons in Outer Space and see about working together for exploring planets for who knows.
Thank you, Delegate. The Chair now recognizes the UAE for 30 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. The UAE would like to echo the sentiments of Russia in that we cannot be bringing weapons into space. We need to somehow find a way to unify all these countries, but by helping each other explore outer space. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Delegate. We will now be recognizing Bolivia.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. Outer space shouldn't be thought of as a place for violence or weapons. We should be thinking about it in ways to bring the world together. So there are all kinds of communications technologies that may be able to make it so that people can understand, learn better. But it's going to require some cooperation from the international community and some assistance on the part of the developed countries to help less developed countries sort of come into a sort of more modern age. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Delegate. We will now be accepting 2 more speakers in this moderated caucus. All those wishing to speak in this moderated caucus, please raise your placards now. Okay, we will now be recognizing the last speaker of this moderated caucus, which is Bolivia. Bolivia, you have the floor for 30 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. This has been an interesting discussion. We've been talking about the consequences of, I'm sorry, Chair, should I wait for the managing chair to start the timer?
Yes, Delegate, you can restart your speech.
Thank you very much. We've had an interesting discussion about a variety of issues that Bolivia thinks are very important and worth discussing further. And so I hope in the next time we have an unmod, we can talk about things like space debris and what can be done about the fact that there's no accountability right now for mishaps that happen in space. And so it'd be nice to get together with other delegates during the next unmod and discuss this. So I will be in room unmod B. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Delegate. This now elapses our moderated caucus. The chair will now be receiving any points or motions on the floor at this time. If you want to make a point or motion, please raise your placards now. UAE.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. The UAE moves for an unmoderated caucus of 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Okay, thank you, Delegate. By Chair's discretion, this will be the only motion we will be taking at this time. We will now vote upon the UAE's motion for a 1 minute, 30 second unmod. All those wishing to vote on this motion, please vote now. Okay, this motion clearly passes. You are now in a 1 minute, 30 unmoderated caucus. Remember to go to Discord for this unmoderated caucus, and the time will still be on Zoom.
Bolivia.
Hello, Bolivia.
Oh, this is Bolivia. Russia. So I
The
wanted to hear some.
delegation of Russia says hello.
I wanted to hear some more.
Albania.
I wanted to hear some more about what you'd said about space debris and these kind of issues that you were talking about.
Yes, as I was saying, it appears that commercial actors in some of these countries, including the U.S., are leaving debris, and there's not enough accountability for them like there is for governmental bodies. What do you think we can do about that?
I know. I mean, this is an interesting topic. The UAE. I wonder if you could get in on this, and if you have any thoughts about any of these issues, especially about space debris, since we're focusing on that right now.
Yeah, so as far as right now, I never really had any concerns of space debris, but definitely that that is definitely something we should think about. Yeah, I don't really have much in mind for that topic right now, but if any of you guys would like to speak more about it, maybe give me some more insight.
Russia, it sounds like you're familiar with this topic a little bit more, and it would be helpful. Are they able to track? Oh, looks like the unmod is almost over. I'd like to hear some more about this. But we need to go.
Oh, well,
No.
If delegates could please return to the Zoom chat as this unmoderated caucus rather has elapsed. Okay, please give a thumbs up if you are back in the Zoom chat. Okay, seeing that everyone is here, we will now be taking points or motions. Okay, delegates, this concludes our unmoderated caucus. The chair will now be looking for any points or motions on the floor at this time. If you wish to make a point or motion, please raise your placards now. Russia?
Thank you, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. Russia moves for a suspension of the simulation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, delegate. By chair's discretion, this will be the only motion we'll be taking at this time, and we will be subsequently voting upon this motion. All those wishing to vote on this motion, please make a decision now. Okay, this motion clearly passes. The simulation is now suspended.
Oh, and while we wait for everybody to come back.
Yeah.
So, I just want to make a few remarks in terms of the simulation. I know some of the spots were rough. It just takes a matter of practice going back and forth between the two programs, and you'll get better and better over time. So I encourage you guys to practice with your team, and if you have any kind of technical questions, you can always contact us at COC, and we can connect you with the tech team, and they'll answer questions to the best of their ability, and they're fairly knowledgeable. So good luck, and we'll see you on May 16th. Brandon?
Yeah, just to reaffirm, this is a really new simulation that we're doing on all accounts for both the staff and the delegates. So don't be afraid to ask any questions. Just coming up with this whole plan idea certainly took a lot of thought. And if we miss anything, we would love to get your feedback on this. So don't be afraid to reach out to any of our delegates, or reach out to Phil or anyone. We have practiced this for a while, so we're pretty knowledgeable. So yeah, just don't be afraid to reach out.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you on May 16th.